Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and I have had these puzzles for quite a few years. I know there are pieces missing, and I keep thinking I'm going to make some jewelry out of them, and haven't done it yet. So today, we're going to try to do that. So this is the puzzle I'm going to choose, and you see all these flowers? They're just some tulips. Oh, okay. Kind of blurry there. There we go. I think those would be really pretty. So we're going to pick through them and see if we can find some pretty colors. I got a Sharpie in there. Okay. This looks like maybe something I might want to use. Oh, and here's another one. Oh, these two. Yeah. Oh, blue would be pretty. Let's see. I like the blue. Maybe I'm going to change my mind. I don't know. I have some really pretty nail polish, which would be pretty to paint on the other side. Oh. Okay. Well, let me pick through here and see what I can find. All right. I dug through there and I found these two. I think color-wise would go nice. These two. Because we've got the browns here. Here we have greens. And then here's some clouds. I did some more digging around. Look at these. Those would be fun. And one of them I had a few little branches in there. And it didn't look right. These two I think will be a better match. So I've got opportunity for 1, 2, 3, 4 pair. So these are the two I am going to try to make into earrings. And the first thing I need to do is make a hole for the jump ring to go in so the ear wire can go in that. I think I want them to hang like this. So I'm going to use this bead reamer to poke holes. Now, if I like doing this and I'm having fun with it and want to make more, I may invest in a hole punch. They have little hole punches for jewelry, and I know they will punch a hole in like bottle tops, but since I'm not really for sure if I want to continue to do this or not, I'm just going to try to use this bead reamer. So I've poked the hole. Let me show you how I did it. So I'm just going to lay it here, and I'm laying it on this table that I don't really care about. It is our painting table. So if it gets a few holes poked in it or paint on it, that's okay. So I'm going to go straight, find the place that I want, which is going to be right here, but you have to hold this straight. And I'm just going to, sorry I can't show you better, but basically, here you go. What I'm doing is just twisting it until it comes out the other end. You see it coming out the other end? And I'm going to just carefully continue to poke the hole. And you want to be careful that you don't force it, because you could bend this part of the puzzle, the little part there, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to the other side and poke through, and just continue to do that until the hole is big enough. Now I'll probably have to go back and redo it again, since we're going to be painting and Mod Podging and all, and I just need this hole to be big enough to put a jump ring in. I have my holes poked, and probably what I might do, instead of putting a jump ring, I may just take some 22 gauge wire, which would fit through there, and make a bail. But we will decide if that's how we're going to do that later. Right now, I'm going to paint this side so it doesn't look so ugly. Since we have some yellow flowers on here, I have this yellow fingernail polish that I'm going to use. And I might need, I don't have a pair of tweezers. That would be really nice. Instead, I'm going to use some bent nose pliers to hang on as I paint. And I'm probably going to have to do a couple of coats. Whoops. Grace strikes again. I am known for being pretty klutzy. Now let me get these painted, and I'm going to put 2 coats, possibly 3, and then I will be back. I've got 2 coats on here. I'm probably going to have to do at least 1 more, maybe 2 more. But I do also want to paint the sides. And probably what I should have done is painted white and then painted the yellow. But, and maybe I will do that, because I do have some white fingernail polish. So maybe I will go back and do that, and then the yellow will show up better. So I went ahead and painted white over that yellow, and then now I'm going to come back in with the yellow. That should make it much brighter. Yes, that's much better. I'm going to let that dry, do 1 more coat, and then we'll move on. Oh, and you do need to do the sides. So I have these all painted. They still need to cure a little bit. I'm actually outside. I live in Louisiana, and it's very, very humid today. It acts like it wants to rain, so if y'all are familiar with the deep south and the humidity, it takes forever for things to dry. But this right here is pretty much done, except for it needs to dry. And I think I'm gonna I probably need to do another coat there. But I'm gonna let that dry overnight. I'm working on another pair of earrings, and I did these a little different. I've got the hole, so it's gonna be hanging this way. I actually painted Mod Podge first on the back, and then I've done a couple of coats of the white fingernail polish, and I'm going to do probably 1 more coat and let it dry. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of glitter. All right, I put a little bit of glitter on there on the wet fingernail polish, and I'm just going to let that set. Probably do it on the other side too. And then this is what I'm going to use to do the final step. And this diamond glaze is really good. I use it on my paper beads, and I actually have a video on how good this is. I actually soaked a paper bead that I made for several hours after it was glossed with this. But I'll leave a link to that video down in the description box below. But I'm going to let this dry a little bit more, and I'm going to add some diamond glaze, and I'm going to use a paintbrush to do it. Just a soft bristled small paintbrush, just to kind of move the glaze around and to make sure all the air bubbles are out. So I went ahead and diamond glazed the other side. I did put a few little glitter sprinkles on there before I did so. These are going to need to dry for quite some time. But I think what I'm going to do with the cloud puzzle pieces, I'm going to add these little cloud beads that I have to them. So, and you know what? I may put some bead caps on there. I have to dig around and see what I've got. All right, these are, they're dry. They're not cured yet. I'm going to go ahead and finish them off, and then they can cure overnight. So I'm going to set these aside. We're going to work on these first. Actually, you know what? Let's work on these first. And I'm going to use these little beads here. And I'm going to use these bead caps. The reason I'm using these bead caps is because we have these little brown branches in there, and I thought it would look nice on these beads to kind of pick that up. So I am using silver tone 22 gauge wire. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in the hole there. Let's see, I'm going to use about that much wire. And there's several ways you can do this. I like to do this because I have a bigger bale this way. Okay, I'm going to cross these and then just twist them to make one wire. I'm going to make sure I have enough here where this is going to dangle a little bit. The reason I only have one nail poorly painted is I was playing around with my granddaughters. My nails are not the prettiest, but we were just messing around. All right, once I have that, I'm going to put the beads and the bead cap, the bead caps and the bead on there. See, doesn't that look nice? And then I'm going to use some round nose pliers to make a loop. Let's see, zoom this out a little bit. It is really windy out here. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to wrap that wire around and tuck it in. I may have to clip a little bit off, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the other one. Put on the ear wires. Trim them now. See that little piece right there? You want to make sure that's tucked in. And I just kind of feel around. I see it, it's still sticking out there. I don't feel anything. And I'm going to get my ear wire. Open it up. Hanging on there. I want to make sure it's hanging in the right direction. And close it up. And there's earring, half of earring, number one. There they are. And notice I have a left and a right. Did that on purpose. This came out very nicely. So I want to show you a little trick. I actually added a jump ring on this, and that is because when I go to put the wire in here, you don't get much of a dangle. See how it's not dangling? And so I went ahead and did how I did the cloud earrings. But instead of it being loose, I tightened it. See, like it's not loose, and I want them to dangle. So then I went ahead and took my round nose pliers And I did a small loop and wrapped it around like I did the other one. Then I just clip these off and tuck them in. Then I take a small jump ring, open it up, dangle the puzzle piece on there, and the ear wire, making sure it's in the right direction. Close it up. Make sure you don't have a gap in there. And then your piece dangles. There you go. All right, here is this one. See how it dangles? Whoops. And then here's this one. I have to turn these a little bit. Manipulate them so they're around toward. See, it's showing the back. Let's try something here. These are showing the back too. Sometimes if you just switch your earrings out, there. I have noticed that. If they're kind of twisting to the back, if you just switch them to the other ear. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. There they are, all finished and ready to wear. There's the other pair. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day. Let me know if you try this. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, signing out for now. Bye-bye.